उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततः मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि।
सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। With Arjuna's quick question, chapter 12 begins. After seeing the cosmic form, Arjuna is wondering, earlier Krishna spoke about Nirguna Brahman. Now he has seen the cosmic form, the Vishwarupa. Now tell me, what should I worship? Should I worship that or should I worship this? Worship in the sense you can even take it as seeking. Should I seek the Vishwarupa? Because when he saw that Vishwarupa, he was not able to withstand. So he understood that much. Arjuna understood that he has no capacity to stay with Vishwarupa. Right? So he's asking, should we seek this or should I seek that? That's the essential question, but he is putting it across in such a way that which is better? Who is superior? The one who is pursuing the Vishwarupa, Brahman, which is what we generally refer as Saguna Brahman, God with form, or should I pursue, as you had mentioned earlier in the chapters 8, 9 and all, that Nirguna Brahman? Should I seek to understand what is that Nirguna Brahman, or through Saguna Brahman will I get moksha, or through the pursuit of Nirguna Brahman will I get moksha, which will grant me salvation, which will give me solution to my problem of samsara. That's what he is asking. To which Krishna is going to give an explanation. So that's the chapter. Right. We move to verse 2. Sri Bhagavan Vacha.
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Maya mano ye mam nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha
ते मे युक्ततमा मताः श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये माम्
nityayukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yuktatama mataha. The blessed Lord said, those ever steadfast devotees who fixing mind on me worship me endowed with supreme Shraddha, faith. Them do I consider best in yoga. The same word is used by Arjuna, Yuktatama. So, who is best in the pursuit? So, he is asking a comparative question. So, Krishna is presenting as though he is answering it in the same manner. Right. So, we see here the fact that Arjuna is asking to compare the two. What is understood is which is better, but then he should have asked one more thing. That one word which is missing there is the issue here. Which is better for whom? Which is better for me? That he should have added. That he did not add. Krishna assumes that and answering. So when he is asking that question, I wanted to go to a place. We immediately ask which is better, no? Like there are two movies released. You want to go for a movie. You ask, no? Which movie is better? Right. Restaurant you want to go. You can't go to both the restaurants and eat. So you have to make a choice. Which restaurant will go? Better. So when we say better, when I'm going to Chennai, let's say, from Bangalore, I'm going to Chennai. I'm asking which is a better route. Hosur or Chittur? Krishnagiri, Hosur is better or Chittur route better? There are two routes. So immediately we ask what? Better in what sense? Are you saying better in the sense of it's very scenic? It's better in the sense of no toll. Better in sense of less kilometers. Better in the sense of wide roads. Better can be so many things, no? Isn't it? So when Arjuna is asking, form worship is better or formless worship is better? First factor he has not understood is what? He has not understood for whom. It depends on who is asking that Question. Suppose if a person is asking from Electronic City and says, I want to go to Chennai, which is a better route? Another fellow is sitting in KR and asking. Both are in Bangalore only. But immediately we ask, isn't it? From where you are calling? I am calling from KR Take Hosur route. By the time he goes from KR to Hosur, he will say what? From Electronic City, if you are, then take Hosur route. You don't have to cut across the entire city. You can avoid the traffic and waste of time and all this. You're not going to gain much. So therefore, for you, Krishnagiri is a better route. So the moment I say, oh, Hosur road is better, Ishwaran only said, Hosur road is better. Therefore, wherever I am, I will go through Hosur road only. That shows what? It shows we have not understood the difference between advice and teaching. Remember, whenever you read the scriptures, any master's teachings, when you read or when you listen, beware. You should be conscious of this. All their talks, all their presentations will include two things. One, advice. Another one is teaching the philosophy, teaching a principle. Now, when we discuss here eternal truth, Vedanta, eternal truth, sir, that is only teaching part of the Guru's words. Only we factor in here. We don't factor in their advisory statements. There are certain statements they give as an advice. Why? Is because always advice is contextual. Right? Whereas teaching is non-contextual, independent of context, that is. So when you are reading Bhagavad Gita, be careful. And the best aspect of Krishna is he knows our weakness, our incapacitation to understand this principle. Therefore, wherever he is giving specific advice, instead of calling it on him, putting a blame on the student, he takes it upon himself and says, this is my opinion. This is the way a refined personality will speak. That shows how Krishna is so refined. It's an advice. So therefore, he gives it as very clearly in that statement. I consider them. Me matham. Means what? That is my opinion. This is my personal opinion. This is not to be taken as the truth. It's not a truth. That doesn't mean it is against the truth. No. Sometimes advices can be given. Why? Because of the context. This person says, sir, I wanted to drive very fast. So he is asking which route to go, what time to travel, which is the best time. Who is going to drive? A self-driving, sir. Then drive daytime. Avoid night drive. If you have a driver, better to go night drive. He is very comfortable driving. You can't drive in the night. He can drive in the night. In fact, they prefer, drivers, they prefer to drive in the night. Because of what? Because of what?
Less traffic.
No, less traffic.
No cars.
Better concentration. Your eyes will not move away from the lights because all around is what? Darkness. Nothing to see. You see, whole focus will be where then for you? In the night. On the lights. Where do you have light? You have lights only on the road. So you have better concentration. But then many accidents happens and all those things also there. That is all not because of this, because of overexertion. You see, when you exert yourself too much, then you lose focus and meet with accidents. Apart from real issues, like suddenly tire bursts. What will happen to you? You can't have control on that. No, nothing can be done. You have to suffer. That's it. I'm not talking about those things. Now, depending upon who is going to drive, depending upon from where you are starting, depending upon what time you are starting, depending upon which vehicle you are taking, depending upon what is the option you wanted to have. Sir, I wanted to, we are going with kids, So when you are traveling with kids, what you have to see? You can't simply fix, some restaurants. On the way, any restaurant will come, we'll just go. No. You have to see restaurants where there are options for the kids to play. Even if the food is not so good, you better go there. Order just have coffee or lemon juice and eat your own food in the car. But then kids need that. So is such options available is what you have to see first when you travel. So many contexts are there. So when a person is asking, sir, which is a better route to take? What will you factor in and give an advice? Remember, always advices are contextual. Similarly, when you come here, who is asking this question? Arjuna is asking the question. Imagine a fellow comes and asks you, sir, is somebody offering me? I will take you to 7-star hotel booking suite, 3 days, 4 nights. Will it come like that? No. 4 days, 3 nights. Sorry. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Is it the other way around? Right. You stay there. Or he is giving me $100,000. Which one should I choose? Imagine a fellow comes and asks you $100,000 or four days, 3 nights. Stay in a hotel. What is the advice you will give? What do you understand first of all from that? What will you understand from that?
Two disparate options.
There's a gift being offered to you.
Somebody offered him. He says, he claims, offered, I don't know what to choose. One thing you understand very clearly. What? The fellow has not understood what's the meaning of $100,000. If he understood what is the meaning of $100,000, he will not even come and ask you your opinion. What do you think of that? The fact that he is asking. Same way, the fact that Arjuna is asking Saguna Brahma Upasana or Nirguna Brahma Upasana, which is better? One thing he has not understood. What is the greatness? What is the glory of Nirguna Brahma Upasana? What is that? What is Nirguna Brahma Upasana? He has not understood. When he has not understood what is it, what is the point of telling him? Right. Therefore, Krishna gives straight advice. What is it? I think, those who worship me, superior. All of us will say that. You are attending my class, no? Says, yes, sir. Then correct.
And you are the best student.
Yeah, you are the best. You are a good student. Best lang immediately goes, too much. you are a best student. You are a good student. Then I'll motivate you. If continue, then I'll ask, are you giving Guru Dakshina? Then you are a best student. If you are attending class, you are a good student. Guru Dakshina also you give, you are a best student. What is it? Worship me. Look at that, ego. Those who worship me. Those who worship me means those who worship Saguna Brahman. So the Saguna Brahma Upasakas are better, he says. Those ever steadfast devotees. And he puts condition, 3 conditions he puts for that also. He's not giving it free. Simply he's not saying, those who worship Saguna Brahman are all superior. No. Under conditions. And what are the conditions? He puts 3 conditions. Right. Then you are a better. You are good. Such a person. What is that? First one he gives. Aveshya Manaha. Means mind fixed. First. Mind should be fixed. Condition 1. Second condition. Nitya Yuktaha. Second condition. Third condition. Paraya Shraddhaya. He is qualifying Shraddha. He is not saying just those who have Shraddha. So mind is fixed. Aveshya. Fixation. Mind is fixed. What is fixed? Mind is fixed. So that's why he puts Manaha. 1. Second condition is Nitya Yuktaha. Ever steadfast. Most consistent in their endeavor, in their efforts. Second one. Third thing he gives is Shraddha. And he qualifies that Shraddha also. He qualifies that Shraddha by the term Paraya. Means Para Shraddha. Means higher. Supreme Shraddha. Those who have these 3. With these 3 things, when you upasate, when you worship me, such a person, in my opinion, is the best. Is there any comparison? If you carefully analyze, he has been using the word me to Nirguna Brahman also. Isn't it? Brahman. Here to refer Brahman, he uses me many times. I, me, is used many times to refer to Brahman. So here, strictly speaking, Krishna is not giving any answer. If you carefully see, he is not answering. He says, he's asking who is better. He says, don't ask me who is better, tell me who that fellow is. So, the superiority is not based on what you worship. Superiority is based on which is better. It is not based on the object. of your worship. Whether it is Saguna Brahman superior or Nirguna Brahman superior. No, no, no. The superiority is defined based on the person who is worshipping, the worshipper, not worshipped. Worshipped, there is no difference. Worshipped is the same thing. Saguna Brahman is equal to Nirguna Brahman. There is no difference here. There is no superiority, inferiority there. There is neither better, best, worst. There is no such thing. Whereas this gradations comes into picture where in the Upasaka there is a difference. What makes a difference? These three qualifications, what you have in you, makes the difference, he says. How beautifully he communicates it, you see. It appears as though he has answered the question. Superficially, when you see it, yeah, Arjuna asked a question. Saguna Brahma Upasana. Saguna Brahma Upasana is what? Worshipping you or Brahman. Worshipping you or Brahman, which is superior? Tell me. And second verse, he gave the answer straight away. What is it, sir? He is the best. Them do I consider best in yoga. And he keeps on using the word me, me, me. So therefore, what is the interpretation you will get to? Saguna Brahma Upasakas are superior. Thank God we have, these masters to come and interpret and tell us. Hey, wait. Read between lines. Right. You have to be so careful and cautious in reading them. Yes, those who ever, I'm not going into the meaning of these words, in fact. Okay, we will see that later. What is the qualifications and all that. He says, having fixed. So, three things that you have to have. Three qualifications are required. One, mind should be fixed. Number two, you should be consistent in your efforts. Not sporadic, not random. Right? Consistency is needed. Third thing he gives is that Shraddha, translated as faith. It starts as faith, but Shraddha is much more than that. And there is no way you can translate the certain words. Few words in Sanskrit cannot be, you can't translate it. It is not possible. One such word is this, Shraddha. How do you translate faith? But it starts as faith. The first step is faith. So since that's the first step, we have taken that itself as the meaning. That's about it. So strictly speaking, it is not. So I prefer use the word Shraddha as Shraddha only. See, because Shraddha means faith plus the ability to stick to that faith, stick to that belief, that unflinching, unswerving, holding on to it, plus the effort that you put in till you realize it, till you make it your own, till you make it your own experience, till you see it, you hold on to that. You see, so faith, belief, plus it should be undeviating, no deviations, right? Then effort you put into realize that faith, all put together. all together is called as Shraddha. So faith is what? Faith is just a belief. What is that? No. It's a temporary one, remember. It is a temporary one. Like probation period we give, no? When you employ a person, you give them a probation, isn't it? What does that mean? He is employee. It's not that he is not an employee. He is an employee. But still what, sir? Not yet confirmed. Probation period. So during probation period, what are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to function? All of you have worked, no? Hey, I am the only fellow who has never worked. Huh? How you are supposed to work?
Your best.
You are supposed to work as though you are a regular employee. Isn't it? For all purpose, there is no difference in your effort. In fact, you will be putting slightly more than those who have got that confirmation letter, permanent confirmed letter, isn't it? So Shraddha starts with faith. Faith is what? Faith is you give that provisionally, you give the validity to the Shastras, to the scriptures, as they are correct. It's only a provisional acceptance. That's called faith. Faith is just a temporary one. Now we think, that is why we say Shraddha is not faith. Why we are saying Shraddha is not faith is because of the very nature of faith is supposed to be what? Temporary. We have made that itself is permanent now. Because you go into the meaning of the word religion, defined as what? Synonyms for religion. First word you will get is what? Faith. So religion is equal to faith only. That's why it is temporary. We are attempting to make a temporary. Imagine somebody you are keeping as temporary all along. Like these workers, they go on strike. BBMP. Contract laborers are all still kept as, they are not given. Permanency is not given, sir. Only when you get permanent, it is complete, you get full benefit. Otherwise, work you will do, benefits you will not get, security you will not get, insurance you will not get, PF you will not get. All those benefits are gone. And any time you can be checked out, thrown out. There's no way that you can afford to have any say in the matter. You see, Shraddha starts with it. All your spiritual efforts starts with this provisional acceptance that the scriptures are correct, I am not. Or scriptures are more correct than I am, because our ego will not accept. That's why, that's why we have to diplomatically put nowadays. And in YouTube also it's coming, no? So one fellow will comment. So you have to be very careful now. Why Shraddha is not equal to faith? Is because faith by definition. But the mistake that we have made is we have flouted that principle of faith. What is supposed to be temporary, we have made it permanent. Therefore, all anartha in the name of religion. And therefore, what we are doing now, do away with religion itself. It's exactly what they say in English, call a dog mad and kill it. You wanted to kill a dog. What are you supposed to do? First, call it mad. That's exactly what we are doing. What is something that is the most beneficial thing for humanity or for the whole world, say for all beings, not just for humanity alone? We have made the temporary a permanent. And since we are not reaping the benefits, what is supposed to be temporary should be temporary. What is supposed to be permanent is, after you pursue that jnanam that you get should be permanent, not your faith. The knowledge should be, understanding should be permanent. Your realization should be permanent. But how do you get there? Start with what? You start with faith. What is that? A suspicion that I might be wrong in understanding. We never have that. It's almost impossible. One thing which is impossible for human being is to suspect. The trouble with most folks, Josh Billings, the trouble with most folks is not so much so their ignorance as their knowing so many things which and so. They know, the belief they know. Yeah, that I know very well, sir. We are so clear about something. So that's why we say Shraddha is much, much more than faith. But why it is translated as faith is because it starts with faith. If you have not taken the first step only, where is a chance for you to continue? So what is Shraddha? You say Shraddha is translated as faith, explained in the scriptures as what? Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhi. The Shastras and the teachings of the Guru is truth. Anything other than that is what then? It is not truth. That idea, that conviction that you have, that belief that you carry is called faith. That's how it begins. But Shraddha is not just that and stick to that and stay there. If you believe the Shastras are correct, the Guru is correct, and you are carrying exactly an opposite opinion, there is a clash. Now, we are not sitting here to have a debate forum here. We are not here to have a engaging conversation. You can't have an engaging conversation with the Guru. Educative conversation only he is interested. What we want nowadays is engagement. It should be engaging, sir. That's why even teachings we have started doing now. Like, it should be engaging to the students. Now, you can do that. Where? Kindergarten you can do. You can put rhymes. And you can have, some PPT. You can have some, animation. Quantum mechanics, how will you teach with animation? Huh? Rhymes போட முடியுமா? Theory of relativity. I want to teach theory of relativity to the students. And you put rhymes for that? Equation, rhymes la போடுங்க sir. You cannot do that. Subtler the ideas go, it is not possible to be entertaining, engaging. Subtler education cannot be done. And it will be so sharp, particularly when it comes to this subject. Because none of us have any problem that you do not know Pythagoras theorem, let's say. You don't know Pythagoras theorem. You go to school, maths teacher teaches you Pythagoras theorem. What happens after that? What is the only question they will ask you is, have you understood Pythagoras theorem? Yes or no? If you say yes, the teacher will give a quick question for you to solve. If you say no, teacher will explain further. Assuming it's a good teacher. Then again, after explaining, what they will ask? Have you understood? Yes, sir. The moment you say you have understood, immediately homework. They'll give two problems there and say, you solve the problem and bring it tomorrow. To test whether your claim that you have understood is correct. Have you understood properly or not? There, maths teacher stops all subjects. I'm just taking one example, okay? When you come here, in life education, we cannot just stop whether have you understood. No. The moment you say you have understood, that means what? You are agreeing to me. Science teacher, maths teacher will never ask you, do you agree with me or not? Have you ever heard? When it comes to life teaching, you have to, if you say I have understood attachment, and the teacher says attachment is deadly, it's killing. The most dangerous thing that you can ever have in your life is attachment. You all understand that? Yeah, yes, sir, I understood. That means what? That means you are agreeing to what the teacher says. If you are agreeing to what the teacher says, what you are supposed to do?
Not get attached.
You should not get attached. With every attachment, you should feel what? Scared. You should be terrified. Understanding is equal to agreement. Right? In all other subjects, that agreement is not expected. Isn't it? If you go and tell Pythagoras, I don't agree with you, he'll say what? Good. He'll say, very good. That's how the subject grows. In disagreement alone, science will grow. Spirituality can grow only in agreement. Weird. Since today we have given too much of importance to science, we are expecting the same principle to be adapted to spiritual, philosophy, religion. What? Disagreement, sir. That's why every class we chant, Ma vid vishavahai. Say, let there not be any disputations between the teacher and the taught. That's why the Shanti mantra is chanted by both. So we say Shraddha. We say, what is it now? Shraddha is that belief in what the Shastra says as correct. Means you are agreeing with that. You have not understood. Remember, In science, when you are pursuing, in all other subjects, when you study, there you don't need agreement, you don't need anything. You can just start off. You just have to understand, that's it. Whereas when it comes to philosophy, religion, spirituality, here the first step is agreement. And that agreement should be done when you have not understood it. When you have not understood attachment is deadly, you should agree saying, yes, sir. And 99% of people who come into spiritual stop there. I've agreed with you, no? What more you want? We look at the guru and say, correct, sir, you are correct. We will give certificate to the guru and walk out. No. After that agreement only, your investigation should start. Your pursuit starts after agreement. In science, agreement, disagreement has no relevance at all actually. From ignorance, effort, understanding. That's all. In spirituality, the problem is you cannot move from ignorance to investigation, inquiry straight away. Efforts will not start straight away. In between, there is a phase, critical phase is there. But many of us don't even know this. Majority don't start. A small minority who start the spiritual process stop at the very first step, stating what? I've agreed with whatever Krishna says. Krishna says no. What is it, sir? Saguna Brahma Upasakas are better. According to Krishna, who can have a better opinion than Krishna? Krishna is speaking like a lawyer here, not a judge. Right? Lawyer's opinion is very important, of course. But lawyer's opinion is not going to give you victory, no. The same lawyer tomorrow will get promoted and becomes a judge. Then his opinion becomes what? You're all with me? Same human being only, same fellow. Yesterday, he was a lawyer. Next day, he got the letter that you have made the judge, High Court judge, or Supreme Court judge. I'm judge. After he becomes a judge, whatever he writes, according to him only, no? Isn't it? Otherwise, how can you have in 5, judges panel and all, 3:2, which means what? 3 judges gave this judgment, 2 judges gave this judgment, sir. Therefore, 3 wins. There are also only democracy, we can go for voting then. Opinion only, no. Where is it? His logic, his thinking, his interpretation, everything is subjective, isn't it? Subjective to that particular judge. Now, when you are reading this verse, Krishna makes it very clear. He says, Arjuna, I am a lawyer here. I am not a judge. So don't expect this to be taken as a final verdict. My opinion is what? Why? Because who is asking this question? Arjuna is asking that question. Even though he is giving his opinion, he is spelling it out the truth also. He says, look here, your accent is on the wrong side. You are dividing it based on the object of worship. The division ought not to be based on the object of worship. It depends on the worshipper. So therefore, what is needed? Krishna's stance is very clear. If you are not capable of Nirguna Brahma Upasana, understood this, you are fit only for Saguna Brahma Upasana. And what you are supposed to do, which is better, to that, whichever is fitting you, is better for you. Since Arjuna is asking this question, Krishna gives, you are better suited for Saguna Brahma Upasana. Therefore, he says, better. Them I consider better. This is one of a technique of communication. You see, Kritika has this problem with me many times. Because whatever she asks, I'll say yes. Yeah, correct. Correct. Sometimes she'll get so annoyed. Don't keep saying. And whatever, Purni also, I'll say, yeah, correct. Whatever she says. Hey, you are an idiot, father. Say, correct. Say. What else to do? We have no idea of what is that makes to the student when the teacher agrees with him. You see, there the student is so grateful to the master, to a guru. You should have gratitude towards your guru. For what? Not because he explained beautifully, sir, that, prarabdha, purushartha. Super explain manar, sir. Not for that. That you can get from anyone. You get a good teacher, he will explain better than me. The guru will say. You see, you need a good scholar. Those who have that clarity and those who have that communication skill. If you have clarity and communication skill, more than enough to explain the concepts. But that doesn't make a guru. You see, what makes a guru is the one who has that compassion. What is compassion? When you know 200% sure that's a rope, you agree with the boy, and he comes and says, there's a snake. You acknowledge that. Imagine if you were to start fighting with him. Nonsense. There's no snake, there's only rope. I only kept it there. Will it help the student? It will not help the student. The first thing you have told him is what? Maybe you're right. There's a snake. Let's go and check. And then you agree with him and go along with him. When you know for sure it is not there, why do you do that? Huh? And even if that boy were to come and say, I was bitten by that snake, I can feel the poison rushing in my system. You will say what? The drama la summa over. One whack you will give and shut up, you sit. You get more panicked than that fellow and take him to the hospital and give him injection. IV, glucose. You wink at that fellow and say, give him a glucose. Or glucose injection. Nothing will happen, no? Glucose injection. Now you're feeling okay. Fine. Let's go and check where that snake is. Let's check it out. And you also search for that snake all over. And then take him to the spot and show him. And all that you do, you are going along with that boy. You see, with the ignorant person, dealing is not easy. Only when the teacher agrees with the student, student will be available for listening. Otherwise, he will not even listen. Straight away, there will be arguments and fights only happening. See, there will be debates, fight, disagreement. Obviously, for all of us, final authority for all of us is what? My experience. My experience is ultimate authority for me. For you, your experience is ultimate authority. If there is a clash between your experience and my experience, right? Is it easy for you to set aside your experience, validate my experience? That itself is not possible. When you know for sure that I am hallucinating, it's not real. And to explain to me, to bring me out of that hallucination, you come along. Is what? For that, the student is so grateful. That is called Shraddha. Faith, no, inna faith. This is that faith. Why is there is a clash? Because I am seeing samsar, I am seeing suffering, problems in life. He is experiencing Ananda. He is experiencing bliss. I am experiencing misery. And I am saying misery is real. And he says misery is not there. There is no such thing called misery. This is what he says. Now I go on saying miserable, miserable, miserable. So therefore, Buddha comes and says what? Correct. Life is miserable. That's why we have kept Buddha as a reference point for compassion. Why? He is repeating the same thing what we are also experiencing, no? Isn't it? Our experience of life is what? Miserable, sir. Misery, suffering, pain, disturbance, problems after problem after problem. Samsara is miserable, sir. Life is so miserable. Exactly, he is echoing what we have been claiming. So as a mukta, he is echoing what the samsari says. Now, should we agree with a teacher, or teacher should agree with us? I hope you are all following me. First I said the student should agree with the teacher. Now, in fact, if you see carefully, student is not agreeing with the teacher. Teacher is actually agreeing with the student. You see, why he is agreeing? For that agreement, I am so grateful to him. Recognizing the grandeur of that agreement. Not easy task. You see, recognizing that is not an easy task. It's impossible. If you recognize that, surrender happens automatic. Shraddha comes automatic. So now the problem is, should student agree with the teacher first, or the teacher should agree with the student first? The teacher says, I agree with you. You see? So he takes the initiative. He takes the first step. Isn't it? Always we say, who should take the first step? You or me? Always it should be you. Isn't it? First, government says what? All citizens should pay tax properly. First you do. Then we will provide all facilities to you. Citizen says what? First you provide. Then we will consider paying tax. This is every citizen's stand. Husband, wife, same thing. Between countries, same thing. Between customer and the supplier, same thing. Between any two parties, always we expect the other person should do that. And the teacher says, knowing fully well that what you are talking is a not truth. He says, I agree with you. You have no idea of what is it. Rest are all in the verse is not so interesting for me. At least for me, this is the best part of Krishna. Epitome. Oh, it's just an expression. Remember, all gurus are the same thing only. Since we are studying Bhagavad Gita, I am referring. Right? Says that's the truth. So what is the reality, sir? The reality is the Nirguna Brahma Upasakas are superior. That's the fact. Nirguna Brahman Upasana is superior. Why? Why that is superior? Why? Simply you say superior. Say correct, sir. You only said no, agree. Don't say that, Just now you said no, you should agree with the teacher. We agree with you, sir.
Because it's not dependent on any image or idol which is limited.
Okay.
He has passed the first step and then come into this. Because he has to go stepwise, right?
Okay.
So he's come to
All these
Because the
qualifications,
honor, he's come
come to every his past those 3 qualifications. That is distinction.
These qualifications are common for both.
Because our definition of self is omnipotent.
That is every religion gives the same definition. There is no difference. God definition if you take, other religions give the same definition. Only words will vary. More eloquent, some of them are not so eloquent. That's about it. It's only a question of vocabulary. How do we say this is superior, sir?
There's no external dependency.
Correct. There is no external dependency. Factor 1. Saguna Brahman means you defined it a form. You see that? When I say Saguna Brahman, that is Brahman. When I say, I define it. Isn't it? Whereas Nirguna Brahman,
There's no definition.
I cannot define it. You see, which means somebody else should define. You're all with me. When I say Saguna Brahman, I define, which means the student fixes. Student makes that connection. Student establishes the link. Student defines the whole thing. That is student oriented. Bhakta oriented. Not Bhagavan oriented. Saguna Brahman. What is the proof? The proof is never in your dream, Rama Bhakta's dream, only Rama will come. Even by mistake, Krishna will not appear. Crisscross, no? Sometimes they will cross. Ganesha will not come. If I am Ganesha Upasaka, then who I will get in the dream? I will get only Ganesha. I will not get Shiva also I will not get. Father also I will not get. Mother also I will not get. Brother also I will not get. I'll get only this. Then Ganesha as brahmachari or married. In one state he is a brahmachari, next state you go, he is grahastha. And that too, two wives. One Guru I have given two there. Siddhi and Buddhi. Two wives. Now he is brahmachari or this? It's nothing to do with Ganesha, it has nothing to do with Krishna, it has nothing to do with Rama, it has nothing to do with Christ, it has nothing to do with Buddha, it has nothing to do with any one of those people. It is all dependent on the subject, the devotee. Devotee defines the whole thing. Right? In Nirguna Brahman, who defines? This is Nirguna Brahman. Who defines it? Who states that? The Shastra defines it. The scriptures define that is Nirguna Brahman. He is explaining in the next verse. Verse 3. You quickly read that verse. I'll explain the next class, but you just read the verse.
3 and 4 or
3 only.
Ekvaksharamanirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyam cha kudasthamacharam dhruvam ekvaksharamanirdeshyam avyaktam paryupasate sarvatra gamachintyam cha kudasthamacharam dhruvam.
Aksharam, Anirdeshyam, Avyaktam, Sarvatragamam, Achintyam, Utastam, Achalam, Dhruvam. All these words were used in the Upanishads. Many such words were used in the Upanishads. He is just picking up few. And Krishna repeats the same words used by Arjuna in his question to refer to Nirguna Brahman. Aksharam, Avyaktam is what Arjuna used to refer to Nirguna Brahman. Now Krishna is using few more words. From where you are getting that idea? What is those words? We will see. Aksharam is, imperishable, indefinable, unmanifest, omnipresent, unthinkable, unchanging, immovable, eternal. All these words, that which fits into the understanding, whatever understanding you are going to get from these words, that is Nirguna Brahman. What you will get? I repeat the words. Imperishable, indefinable. Adu indefinable. Unmanifest. Omnipresent. Unthinkable. Unchanging. Immovable. Eternal. What do you understand from this? You cannot fix your mind on. He said no earlier. What are the qualifications he gave last verse? 3 qualifications. Second qualification is what? Fixation. Correct? You should be able to fix your mind on. Try to fix. Upasana means what? Upa asana. Sitting near. Sitting near means what? Sitting near omnipresent. All pervading. I'm sitting very near that which is all pervading. Do you have a choice? Is there any meaning in that? No. Then what is it? Upasana means, upasana here means constant, close thinking. How close you are able to keep that thought going consistently. That's called upasana. Right now, you have thoughts. Okay? If I ask you, I'm giving you 10 thoughts option. Can you say what will be the 7th thought in your mind? Can you say specifically, sir, 7th thought for me? Every 7th thought for me will be this thought, sir. You can check it out. Is it possible for you? It's an impossibility for you. Upasana is consciously I fix. This is the thought that I'm going to entertain. It's easier for you to entertain that thought, fixate on something in that sequence. Like when you look at God, when you go to temple, there are 2 ways of having that darshan. Okay, the Agama, they teach that. The Shastra way of, you are not supposed to go to the temple and close your eyes. You know that. That is why there will be one assistant. You will find always, in the priest, there will be 2 priests. One is a chief who will be inside, who will be showing that arati, and there is another person standing outside. And if you see carefully, the person who is standing outside will shout. They are showing arati, see. They are showing arati, see. Arati edukra, parungo, parungo, parungo. Say. Why they repeat it? Because you are supposed to go there and see the deity. And in seeing the deity, there is a method. Certain deities, you start from the feet and reach to the head. Certain deities, you start from the head and come to the feet. There are disciplines for that. So when you go to that particular temple, you should know what is to be done there. And there, when you are seeing, the sequence is much easier. Kesadi padam they say, or padadi kesam. From hair. Kesam means hair. From there you have to see hair, and then I see the forehead. From forehead I see the eyebrows. From eyebrows I can see the eyes, and then I can see the, what is that? You have the hair. Eyelashes. Eyelashes. You can see eyelashes, and then you can see the between eyebrows. Sequence is possible. And you can define your thoughts so sequentially. What you are doing, thoughts which is going helter-skelter, when there is a form, you are able to move in a particular sequence. Okay. In Nirguna Brahman, what will facilitate you to keep that sequence going? You see the difficulty? You see the problem? Those who have trained their mind to such an extent of going through that sequence again and again and again and again and again, that discipline is attained by them. For them, it can be done. For those who have not yet disciplined themselves, Nirguna Upasana is Not possible. They should be going through only Saguna Upasana. Since you are supposed to graduate from Saguna to Nirguna, and you are not yet ready for that Nirguna Upasana, you can only practice Saguna Upasana. Krishna agrees with you, stating, yeah, this is better. You have a fascinating scene in that, movie, Men in Black 1. Men in Black 1, when they're going for selection of who is to be the next, they're searching for one more fellow assistant to apprentice to train him. So in their selection, they bring in, shooting. You have to shoot. How accurate you are. So they have to shoot. In that shooting, everybody is shooting. All these aliens are there all over. They're shooting. Ding, ding, tam, tam, tam. Everybody shooting. Will Smith shoots only a girl going to school in uniform. She's crossing the road to go to school. He shoots the child, the girl going to school child. The fellow asks, why did you shoot that one? Can't you see? He says, problem is not with these people. That's something wrong there. He says, why? Look at what she is carrying. Quantum physics. School child cannot be carrying quantum physics to the school, which means something wrong there. He says, that's the alien, not these fellows. These fellows I don't need. To recognize the alien in this form, recognize alien in this form is very easy. Why? Any blind fellow can see. Why I need a Men in Black department? This department is needed for who? Who come and mingle and present themselves as normal people, but still we can recognize they are not normal. Not easy. See, shooting. That perceptive understanding. Those who are not a school child cannot be studying that. They should be carrying what? Comics. They are capable of only comics. They are not capable of abstract. Children are not capable of studying abstract concepts. They can connect to only concrete. Isn't it? You can ask all these educational experts. That is why even abstract concepts we teach them with concrete. A for apple. What do you see there? They put a picture of apple. Why do you put a picture there? B for ball. Why do you put a picture of a ball there? Because this is abstract. A for apple is abstract. You can't. But you put a picture there, a child can correlate. So till you reach a point where you can directly relate to an abstract idea and stay there. Right? Till such time, what are you supposed to do? Saguna Brahma Upasana. Why? Because in Saguna Brahma Upasana alone, you get the training to maintain a series of thought and stick to that same thing. You don't divert, you don't move around. So you keep a form there, you can practice. Their sequence is possible. That's where we have various idols. And various idols in different positions. Some of them standing, some of them sitting, some of them even sleeping. Only culture in the world where we worship a God who is sleeping. Nowhere they have. They'll be dynamic. They'll be, and some fellows are, in this format. Some of them were, non-human. Some of them semi-human. All various possibilities. Why? Is because in such variety, a possibility is there for every one of us to learn how to stay with something, stick to something, not to wander. Or else our mind tends to wander. Straight away, if you give these abstract ideas, Nirguna Upasana, not possible. Therefore, Krishna says, those who worship Saguna Brahman, superior. Arjuna, you belong to the category. So, what are you? Superior one. Pada. 1 week you can wait, but still, the truth is what? No. How he suggests that? Through putting that one word, my opinion. That's not the truth. It is my opinion. Opinions are subject to change. So he puts that, like, we put no conditions apply. 85% discount. Right? You'll see that up to. I'll have 40 rupees only, sir. 40 rupees, sir. You go there, 100 grams. You see, you don't see the quantity. 100 grams. And the net weight is 75 grams. Total is 100, but inside is only 75 grams. So essentially, how much is? But when you see that, the packet will look so big. So you think, my God, I have so much, is it? Oh, same marketing gimmick Krishna also does. He's marketing actually Nirguna Brahman. He's not marketing Saguna Brahman. He's marketing Nirguna Brahman, but he is packing it in such a way that that's where he is establishing. Truth is different. Advice is different. Right? And what is the description of Nirguna and the qualification for that is the 3rd and 4th verse. So generally we study that together. It's easy to connect because there's a interlink. You should not give a gap. If you give a gap, you will miss it. That's why I'm not explaining the verse. So I just referred the verse so that we understand what is the difficulty in Nirguna Upasana. Since the difficulty is there, those who pursue that are actually superior. They are higher. So remember that. See you next class.